show. We about to chop it up. Come to the show. We got some things we can talk about. Come to the show. We about to chop it up. Come to the show. We got some things we can talk about. Chop it up. Chop it. Chop it. Chop it. Chop it up. Chop it. We got some things we can talk about. Chop it up. Chop it. Chop it. Chop it up. Chop it up. Chop it. We got some things we can talk about.
You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop with your host, Pastor Marvin McKinstry Jr. Let's chop it up.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Chop Shop. Listen, I am sharing right now. I need you to do the same thing, like, love, and share this broadcast. Get people in the room to hear this conversation, because tonight we are talking breaking news, y'all. The Baltimore City mayor's race is heating up, and there have been some announcements made today. I don't think any of them are surprising, but guess what? We're going to chop it up tonight and talk about who is already declared in the election. So before we get to any of that, I got to bring on my right hand and my left hand, my main man, Mr. Shaka Pitts, on the ones and twos, making the magic happen, Techniques 1200, because anything else is uncivilized. Shock, what's good, man?
What's good, Marv? How you doing, good brother?
Man, I'm ready to talk about this race tonight. I'm ready to talk about what I want to talk about is the 20 or so of y'all that better not jump in the race this time. All y'all know y'all ain't going to win.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to see my man Sweaty Yo. I forgot my man Sweaty Yo. Sweaty Yo with the big suit. I can't remember my
Sweaty
man.
Yo with the too big suit. That's what his name gonna be on the Chop Shop.
I don't need that in my life right now. But they did put some spice in the spice in the pepper, Marv. So
yeah, and I think that's gonna break the floodgates open. But before we get into our conversation, let me bring on our two traveling companions. They are the hottest ladies in all of podcasting. We're talking about Miss Hot Take herself, the one and only Lady Lisha. What's up, Lady Lisha?
Hey, how y'all doing?
We doing great. We excited. Listen, you the one that I can't wait to hear from tonight. And as always holding us down, the strong, the anointed woman of God, Chelsea the Catwoman. Chelsea, welcome to the night show.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I hope you all are doing well.
And listen, y'all, again, like, love, and share this broadcast. I done dropped it in a few messenger groups that I'm a part of. I want to get everybody on here so that they can hear this conversation tonight. Listen, before we get to the conversation, we're going to cut right to the church announcements, because there's some things that we always got to talk about, and that always will start with the Stop the Beef hotline. Listen, y'all, murder is a problem. One life is one too many. I get so frustrated hearing people talk about reductions in murder. Yeah, I'm glad that there's some progress, but one life is one too many. And that's one of the monikers of the We Are Us men's movement that I happen to be a proud member of, y'all. So we have the Stop the Beef hotline. Call or text 443-431-3705 or 443-522-7848. There's absolutely no police involvement. Men are going to respond, come and show up and do what's necessary to make sure that another life is not wasted or ended in petty street violence. All right? So y'all listen, we need y'all to make sure that y'all are passing this information on if you know somebody that's in that space or in that type of situation. And walking hand in hand with the Stop the Beef hotline is the Baltimore Peace Agreement, which is the proactive approach that we're taking to end violence in Baltimore. The Baltimore Peace Agreement has been making the rounds in the city of Baltimore for about 3 or 4 years now. And literally, it's a 10-point plan that we get men, primarily men, to commit to not having to take life or have their life taken in the city of Baltimore. This plan was crafted by men who have been behind the walls, in the streets, reformed brothers like myself, but literally making a vow and a commitment that even if we got to eat in the streets, we ain't got to die or kill in the streets. So make sure that you reach out to the We Are Us men's movement if you have not brought the Baltimore Peace Agreement to your community. The Mayor's Office of Employment Development, in conjunction with me, yours truly, the host. I was off today. I'm on vacation, y'all, so I didn't do it today. But there is that Employee Baltimore show. It comes on Thursdays at 2 p.m. I am talking to employers who are hiring actively in Baltimore live and making it happen. So make sure that you tune in on Thursdays at 2 p.m. so you can get up to the minute information and meet the people who are able to get you to the bag. As I always say, if you're looking for an opportunity, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development is looking for you. All right, join us for Sunday worship. Boy, that's a dashing young man there. You see, they got the heavenly glow on me. The heavenly glow. Join us for worship Sundays at 10 a.m. at Victory House Worship Center. Y'all, God is blessing our ministry. We're growing. He's adding amazing leaders to the mix, and we're trying to do our thing inside the church and outside the walls. Because this Saturday, we have our regular community outreach that would be on the third Saturday. It's happening this Saturday. So we want to make sure that you get there. But I think I'm jumping ahead of the slide. So let's just go on to the next one. Hey, y'all, listen. The Ravens are kicking off Sunday. Y'all know I'm a football guy. Oop, one of them words spelled wrong. I ain't catch that. But I'm a football guy. So join us for our Sunday morning worship service. And immediately following, we're going to have a kickoff, Ravens kickoff fellowship. From what I understand, our very own hospitality and culinary ministry are putting together some stadium fare. It's going to be a happening. We would like for you to at least inbox me or Lady Lisha to RSVP your attendance, so we can make sure we have enough food and wear your purple. If you're a part of a fan group from another team, we will accept you. Wear your colors, but we're going to give you the blues. But come on out, fellowship on Sunday morning, and then stick around for the fellowship as we watch the Ravens kick off the 2024 season. Here we go. First impressions and community outreach day. Our community reach day. We don't call it outreach because our ministry strives to be a part of the community. So it's not outreach. We're not doing the community a favor. We're doing the just service that we need to do. So join us on Saturday, y'all. The time has been adjusted. This week it's not going to start till 1 p.m. because we have to serve a family in a funeral. So 1 p.m. this Saturday, come down, y'all. We have a good time. I want to shout out why the opportunity, our very own Minister Stacy Day, who was doing an excellent job as the lead. We had free clothes, free shoes, free food, hot food on the grill, free cell phones. There's going to be a barber there giving free haircuts. So if you're a young person, didn't get a haircut prior to school starting, bring them down to 1063 West Fair Street, Baltimore, Maryland, 21223. And we're going to have all of that going on. Above and beyond everything else, we're going to be out there trying to win souls for the kingdom. So make sure you show up. All right. Pastor's Appreciation is coming up, y'all. I'm not really a big anniversary guy, but this is going to be a night when I can sit back and probably hear all my friends roast me and talk bad about me, and I'm going to have a good time doing it. So make sure if you're not busy on September 23rd, listen, this September 29th, 2023, there's not going to be any preaching or anything, but it will be a bunch of my friends who are preachers in the house. So make sure if you're not doing anything, come on through, share a laugh with your boy. It's been 4 years now that I've been blessed and privileged to be the pastor of Victory House Worship Center, and I don't feel no ways tired. So come on down and let's have a good time. Y'all hear my man Shaka. And then on that Sunday, y'all definitely want to be in the building because we are going to have my pastors, Pastor Shelley and Antoine Burton, and Changing Lives Ministry is going to be in Victory House Worship Center. Listen, y'all, it's going to be a happening. We sit back, turn the service over to them, and let them pour. And if you know anything about this phenomenally prophetic couple, it's going to be a time in the Lord. So if you're not doing anything, come through on Sunday, October 1st, 2023 at 3 p.m. and join in the fellowship. The Victory Now podcast, y'all, is coming. This is going to be the side where you see me sit down and talk to faith leaders and others in the kingdom of God who are doing amazing things. It's going to be a time. It's enough scandal shows. Go on YouTube, enough people critiquing each other's doctrine. This is going to be about sharing the great work that's happening in the kingdom of God with some great leaders who are doing the work. So dates, times, and all of that are coming for the launch of the Victory Now podcast. Make sure that you don't miss it. I didn't send the flyer, and I'm going to get beat up if I don't do this. Our Youth and Young Adult Conference is coming up on the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of September. 22nd, the youth are going to get in the building. They're going to have a good time in the Lord for their kickoff. On that Saturday, we have some amazing speakers that's going to come and some panel discussions. And then on Sunday, my nephew, Minister Keyshawn Daniels from my big brother, Bishop Brian Martin's church, Freedom Church, is going to be with us bringing the word. If you know anything about that young man, he sure can and will preach. We'll have the flyer up the remainder of the month. I promise you. And I do want to shout out our youth pastor, Pastor Cheo Thomas Jr., and our youth advisor, Minister Chanel Poole, who are really doing a lot of work to pull this thing together for our youth and young adults. So make sure you don't miss it. All right, y'all, let's get to what we came for. I need y'all to like, love, and share this broadcast because tonight is going to be a conversation about Baltimore's future because we are hearing the announcement of candidates who want to be the leader that moves Baltimore forward. So we're going to be talking about the three candidates that we know have made some level of announcement, the three who wind up being the strongest three in the last election. And we're talking about none other than Mayor Brandon Scott, former Mayor Sheila Dixon, and former mayoral candidate, Mr. Bob Wallace. So let's get my crew back up on the screen and make it do what it do tonight, y'all. Breaking news, breaking news. It was breaking all over the place. I don't think it was breaking news to us because Sheila Dixon is a friend of the show. And she pretty much all but said it last time she was here that she was running for mayor. We know a few months back, Mayor Brandon Scott, when they asked him if he was running for re-election, he said absolutely he has work that he needs to complete. And then the one and only businessman, let's get Mayor Brandon Scott's picture up there too. Let's be fair. I don't want nobody to think we partial. Mayor Brandon Scott, young man who inherited a lot of issues in this space and has been working hard. I definitely will tell you that. And he been said a while ago that he was running for re-election. And then the one and only Mr. Bob Wallace, Baltimore area businessman who ran the last time, has made some changes to his platform, but he is definitely running again. Family. Look, all of my team look like they ready to let it go. So we gonna get right to it. Let's start with our current mayor, Mr. Brandon Scott, running for re-election. I just want to hear your opening statements. Like this is a whole live debate or something. Let me hear your opening statements concerning Mayor Brandon Scott. Let's start with you, Lady Lisha.
I think we need to give this man some time to finish up the good work that he's been doing. He's done. He's had some.
Was that an endorsement?
Yes, that is mine.
Oh wow, they coming out the gate.
Damn, that was what was that? 2 minutes? 2 minutes into
a minute.
Not even a minute, was it?
That was our opening remark.
I think
another term.
Listen. I'm a ride for my young black men. I think he's been doing some really good stuff. It kind of gets glazed over with the increase in youth crime. We do have some infrastructure stuff that's still in the works and all that, but he's been doing some good work. And I think we need to give him a chance to kind of finish up what he's doing. Crime down. What else is the unemployment rate? Unemployment rate drop. I think he's doing good. He's doing pretty good.
Well, I don't know if the local mayor has much of an impact on unemployment because most of that is kind of at the state level and national level. But okay, that's how you feel. So she just came out. I asked her to just give me opening statement. She went right for Brandon.
Well, that's why you call me Miss Hot Take. I mean,
let me slide it on over to Chelsea the Catwoman. Chelsea the Catwoman, what you got for us on this upcoming race?
I actually, it's going to be interesting because I don't really want Sheila to run, but I know she has the heart for the city because I was right there with her. So I felt like they handled her really greasy. So I felt like she's got out of it. She's got her pension, live her life, and she's making great impacts, not in the office. As far as Brandon, I don't take him serious. So I'm sorry. You know, he proved it. He proved to the young folks that he could get in, but he's a young kid at heart. No disrespect. You know what I mean?
Please put the disclaimer up there.
Sheila has a heart. Sheila has a heart for the city. Even when she's not in the office. She's not in office and she still have a heart. She grew up Baltimore.
Pick a side now.
I'm all for Sheila, believe that, but I don't want her to run. I don't want her to run. I'm all for her, but I don't want her to run.
They coming out swinging tonight.
What does that mean? Like, you're all for her. So if you don't want her to run, right? So she doesn't run, right? You get your wish. Then what? Who are you for?
You know, I would say, listen, I'd see what the guy talking about, the Bob man. But here's the thing. Sheila has the heart for it. I'm telling you, she has the heart for the city. She's made the greatest impact. I'm Team Sheila all day long. Believe what I tell you. But I don't want her to get in that. I just don't want her to get in that hot seat.
They were gonna say this.
I don't want her to get in the hot seat. My heart is for her, for real. I'm Team Sheila. I don't want her to get in the hot seat because we
don't want to give.
I rode that roller coaster with her. We were right there in the trenches, and I just felt like it was so political and so greasy on how they handled her because it would have affected the mayor at the time, the previous. And so it was so much politics in it. My heart is for her, and she seems happier, and she's just impacting the world. So that's why I really, to be honest, Brandon proved his point. He won, but I just think that we need somebody that really is vested. Yeah, he grew up in Park Heights, but he's young. He's still wet behind the ears, so to speak.
Shaka, open the statement.
Hold on. Let me see.
If you want to join the broadcast, listen, if you have an opinion or perspective and you want to join the broadcast, I want y'all to catch the link that's going to eventually be posted in the comments. We're going to bring you on. We want to hear from you tonight because, listen, y'all, they got me reeling already. I had no idea that any of this was going to be saying. I think we might have to set up one of the rap battle debate shots.
It's already been done, Marv. The moment I seen Sheila get down, I sent the kite out to my organization like, this is what we doing. It's
all right. All right, y'all. We gonna listen.
It's already going down. It's
gonna be live. I think for this one, we gotta add a chop shop crew in the building. We might have to do some on location stuff. We're gonna step it up. But Shock, I need to hear your opening statement, brother.
Oh man, so
they threw me off too, bro. I'm glad I ain't got to say nothing.
So if I had my dithers, I would like to see Sheila see what this new Sheila does, because I hit the thing. I'm with everyone who spoke so far, because right now she's the godmother, yo. She get all the calls. She's the plug. So right now she can make an impact. She has been making an impact. Like Chelsea said, like, without even being in the hot seat.
Right.
So she's the godmother right now for Baltimore politics and so with that power, with that and her newfound vigor and her outlook on things, I think it'd be interesting to see what the sister can do with the helm. I do agree that Brandon's young, but I do agree also that he's done some things. Some things probably could have been done better with some age and experience, but he's been doing some things. I'm really not feeling Bob totally, because he hasn't been on the scene at all. Since, to my knowledge, he hasn't been on the radar.
He's been with, what's the group though Giovanni has that our frequent guest Giovanni Patterson. Peace. He's been a part of Peace doing some things. But yeah, go ahead, Shot.
Yeah, so again, I'm not disputing. That's why I prefaced it with, that I'm aware of, that I'm seeing. But I'm definitely aware of what Sheila's doing. I'm definitely aware of her footprint and her thumb. I'm aware of that. So right now, I would like this. I want to see the debate. To be honest, because what I will say is, Lisha, I don't think Brandon just deserves. I mean, another 4 years. I mean, to finish the job, bro, you got 4 years. The job ain't 8 years. The job is 4 years. So I don't feel like it's just a gimme to say, like, let me finish. I don't feel like this on the national level either. Like, let me finish the job I started, bro. Like, sis, like.
So I'm gonna be a little transparent, right? Because I just bought my house in this city. I ain't get a chance to vote for Brandon the last time, so I need to put my vote in this time.
Are you let's get to this, right? So
Let me check
Brandon
these comments. Let
Scott
me
is
got
the
Really?
incumbent.
Really?
He's the incumbent, and literally, she called him Little Park Heights. Lord, Lord. Listen, um, so Brandon Scott, he's the incumbent, and there are many people who, well, political history says the incumbent has a decided advantage. Um, Before we get to breaking down each
two.
candidate, I want to talk about this. The last time there were 26 Democratic candidates
Oh,
for mayor, and people say now that the more crowded the field gets, the more it favors the incumbent.
Yeah.
I want to hear from you guys. How do you feel about so many people flooding the field and running for mayor? I mean, people, to be honest, who ain't got a chance at
well,
winning. What?
that's where I'm at. So number one, I don't need to see a whole Wu-Tang concert on stage. Like it was like it's literally like it was like a Wu-Tang concert. Like man, how many people you gonna have on stage? Like come on, yo. So
Oh my God.
so in the piggyback in the catch the alley that you put up, it's like there's no way I can take like bro. You disrespect now. You're being disrespectful. You know you're not gonna win. So what you doing this for?
You
So
could have put that money, right? You could have
right,
took that money
right. So
and put it
I'm not
behind
feeling
another
you.
person.
Yeah. So I'm not feeling you because I feel like you know you can't win. You just doing it to springboard or stepstone to whatever other thing you're trying to do or to help whatever thing you're doing right now. So if you're anything outside of those, I don't know. I might take one more maybe five. You know what I mean? But anything over five,
Well, the one more that everybody is waiting to see if he announced, of course, is the Ruvik Naraja.
you think? Come
Oh,
on,
he
I
gonna,
know he runs back.
oh, he gonna run.
bro.
He
They
runs
listen.
back.
That's
Has he
the one that
stopped
they
running?
waiting to see.
Has he
That's what that.
stopped running?
I listen to a lot of talk radio, and what they were saying is people. He has not given any indication, but there's some folks because the conversation about these runs is really around money, and the people that they think that can generate the funds are the four people we talking about. You got Bob Wallace, who
Mhm.
has his own money. You got
Yeah,
Mayor
yeah.
Dixon, who we know has a support system. We know Brandon Scott, as the incumbent, will be supported mostly by the party and those who support the party. And then you have the Rue, who really has a support base of the people who are anti the other three candidates.
Mhm.
So
And that's the best way I can put it.
no, but that's a billion% correct. I mean, that's the lay of the land. So let me ask you this. Let me put this on the table rather. Do we not think that the Sheila can't break some of that party line up as far as going for the incumbent line? You don't think she can break that incumbent line?
Well, I think she's the only one that can. You remember back when they just said we not having 15 people in the dunk contest. It's really about Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins. I wish we had the power to just say, yo, that is them two. That's all you hear about. That's all people want.
Mm-hmm,
It's a lot of backdoor stuff. And not
mm-hmm.
saying it in a negative sense, but behind the scenes stuff that does not meet with our voter base so that they're educated and informed. Because I think I know who the people are that's behind Bob Wallace wanting to run again and choosing to run as a Democrat. I believe I know who it is, right? It ain't for me to say, I ain't going to say it right now, but I believe I know who it is. So all of that kind of stuff, but it does. When you flood the candidate pool, I believe that was one of the things that helped Mayor Scott last time.
Yep.
That
No,
you
I
flood. TJ Smith wasn't close to winning, but he was a very popular candidate and garnered a lot of votes that I believe the TJ Smith vote wouldn't have went to Brandon Scott. It would have went to Sheila Dixon, right?
Probably.
And those were enough votes that would have pushed her over the top. So when you look at all of this, my thing with a lot of the people who choose to run, Bob Wallace has no background in politics, right? We've seen that model from our former governor, businessman. You've done some big things. You have the money and the platform. But the person who kind of got known doing advocacy work in the city. Baltimore, for me, has never elected a black advocate. They elect politicians. You look at Councilwoman Odette Ramos. She was a heavy advocate in her community who ran for council and was able to win. But I believe that had a lot to do with votes who weren't black people, right?
Okay.
Going all the way back in the day to Bobby Cheeks, my godfather, and other folks, we have not seen somebody who has beat the pavement, been an advocate out here in the streets, actually translate that into success, even running for city council, let alone running for mayor. Baltimore votes for career politicians.
So, who's to say that some of the advocacy, and I'm not throwing shots, that some of the advocacy that former Mayor Dixon is putting forth wasn't campaigning the whole time?
Well, I think for me, her history before she was in politics as an educator in Baltimore was one that was going to make sure people was good. And that's because I have the privilege of knowing her. Does the average voter know that? No. The thing that I continually contend about her is she don't stop when she lose an election. We ain't seen Bob Wallace other than some of the stuff that he does with what's the group name Peace, right? We ain't seen them.
He just
Right.
started doing stuff.
And you see Theroux, if he decides to run, because I don't know if he's going to do, but you see Theroux never stops advocating. Everywhere that there's some seeming injustice to people, whether it was the ladies down in South Baltimore or whether it's somebody who is done wrong
Fells
by the
Point.
police. I mean, yeah, Fells Point, wherever. Theroux seems to be on the scene advocating. But we still don't know if he's running yet. But a flooded
So
pool
who's
is
he advocating for, though?
I believe, if you want my personal opinion, I believe that.
No, the only reason you don't have to answer, but the reason why I'm asking is
No, let
because
him answer.
he was okay. Go ahead, answer, Mark.
I believe that he's advocating for the people to see him in the light that will give him the opportunity in elected office. I mean, he's and Theroux is a guy that's been on the show. Hopefully, we'll be able to get him on here, maybe even just to discuss the field, right? But that's just what I believe. I believe that I see that, as kind of what his history is done, because outside of the work that he's done in the federal prosecutor's office and when he's worked in the state's attorney's office, we've never seen advocacy work from him until he became a candidate. So I'm not saying that it can't be the flip side either, where his candidacy kind of catapulted him into that work. That can happen. I'm just giving you my honest perspective.
So we've had all four of them. We've had Theroux on as well, correct?
We've had all four of the candidates on.
We've had all four of them on.
Yeah, Theroux has been on a couple times.
Yeah, I will. I will say this. Just as a, as a person, I'm feeling Sheila, yo. The authenticity was there. If like if we're just going off of the old blue collar, I get a beer with it. It's like Sheila was it felt authentic, but she didn't feel political. She didn't feel like she was trying to not say something, or it was just little
genuine. It was genuine.
I think that's who she is, to be honest. I really think that's who she is. I've seen her in too many venues. I called her on maybe 2-3 days notice to throw out the first pitch at our neighborhood Stop the Beef Peace softball game. She showed up in her gym clothes, coming straight from her workout.
She came on our show after workout. She came on our show with the sweat glow. So she's is the young folks say a real one.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let me throw this out there because I want to get y'all perspective. Brandon Scott, he promised in the first year we would see a 15% reduction in homicides and non-fatal shootings. It didn't happen in the first year, but it looks like we could be trending that way this year. There are many people who attribute it to the change in the prosecutor's office. Marilyn Mosby being out, Ivan Bates being in, and the collaborative work between Ivan Bates and the federal prosecutor's office, which has gotten a lot of the repeat violent offenders off the street. How do you think that not keeping that promise in the first year will impact Brandon's bid for reelection? And how do you think, and I want y'all to address both, how do you think us trending towards that 15% reduction might help his bid for reelection? Come on, Lady Lisha, that's your boy. Come on.
Honestly, I don't think it's gonna help. The media focus has been on the increase and influx of youth crime, and even though there has been a reduction, nobody's paying attention to that. Like they just, it's like yeah, but I don't think it's gonna have a strong impact or benefit to him moving forward. Outside of the fact that people just know him in Baltimore, and that's just what we do. We vote for who we recognize. I don't think that's gonna help. No.
Chelsea the Catwoman.
I think that no, I don't. I think that the 15% might help a little, but I don't think that it's going to help that much because he made, again, being wet behind the ears, he made a promise up front. Now, and no disrespect, I'm not, I'm just using
Listen,
it
that
loosely.
term is totally disrespectful. Okay. Can we
Well,
get
I'm
the
just saying-
disclaimer on the screen, Shaka, please?
Uh-huh.
That term is totally disrespectful.
Listen.
go
So
ahead, I
what I
got you.
mean is he made some promises that he wasn't able to keep. And again, in Merlin Mosby's defense, I wouldn't say that the crime, just because Bates in there, that wasn't, it's been a collective. I think it's a little bit of a lot of things happening all around to help. As far as maybe we want the crime to go down more, but Merlin Mosby wasn't the main cause for the crime.
Well, Chelsea, this is something that I know for fact for work that
Okay.
I'm involved in the community.
Right.
Not being able to pick up the guy or hold the guy who had a pound of weed on him, who was a potential suspect in multiple murders, did impact the crime, right? And I know this
Okay.
is a fact. There's a
Okay.
person I know for a fact that was a suspect to be the shooter in 3 murders.
Right.
Got arrested by the Western District's finest.
Okay.
The refusal to prosecute him for the weed charge that he was arrested under literally gave him 2 more years of time on the street. Now, luckily, to our knowledge, nobody else died in that time, right?
Okay.
But people don't feel safe coming forward. So when you have this thing where you're not prosecuting low-level crime sometimes helps to get the big fish out the way.
Right. And I get that, but charging him for weed doesn't have nothing to do with if they had enough
It gets them
evidence.
off the street so witnesses can come forward
Oh, I got you.
because people feel safe.
I was going to say because now weed is legal.
Yeah,
So
well,
it
not
wouldn't
when you
be-
not when you got a pound of it in your car. Come on, Shaka Pitt. Talk to us about the promise not coming to pass in 1 year, and if you believe it's going to help him, that it seems like it may come to pass this year.
So I don't think the people give a rat's nasty tail about a promise. I don't think people even remember or even know a promise was ever made. What they're going to care about, though, is the number. That's what they're going to care about. So they're not going to even care about the trending. They're going to care about where is it at right now versus wherever. They don't want to do any math. They don't want to carry the 2. None of that, right? So what is it right now? Is it X amount percent? Is it if it's not something that makes me feel good? Oh nah, you failed, good brother. It's literally going to be either this or that. It's not going to be they're not, and they won't care about. Hell, I didn't know. I couldn't remember the promise. I don't remember the promise. Only
Well,
people.
trust me, certain news outlets gonna keep it in your face.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But what I'm saying, I know, but that only works for people who are learned or versed in this, who care about that. See, Chelsea
Right.
care about this. You care about this. You know what I'm saying? But black in them, they're not going to care. The average Joe is not going to care about that. All they're going to care about, the average working person is going to say, listen, what is the numbers right now? Because I remember last year, and they don't even care about a percentage. You know what they want, Marv? That 200 something number, right? That's all they care about. That's it. They don't no long division, bro. No carrying, no. They ain't doing that.
I'm looking at
This thing,
Jason's
this
comment. Doc, can we get it on the screen? Because I want to put this out there, right? Jason's comment is we looking at our abuser, right? There's a dual perspective there, right? So if we honest about what the situation was, there was some contracts that were given to somebody that they say Mayor Dixon had a personal interest with that were no bid contracts, which it seems like impropriety. And then there were some gift cards, right? And I think the gift cards have a tendency to be out front of the conversation. Now, this is my contention, right? While mayor of Baltimore, she put together a team of people that had uh, murders under 200, under 200. But we got, like he said, he classified her as an abuser, right? Not to step aside
But
her
what did she
impropriety,
abuse?
not to set aside the impropriety which she's taking ownership over, but the mentality that I hear when I look at Jason's comment is even if she's the best qualified for the city, she did this, right? Qualified to bring about change. She did this. We not excusing it. I need to hear from my crew on that.
It was alleged. You understand
Now
what I'm
she
saying
got
to you?
convicted. We can't
No,
stop
no,
at
she
her leg.
listen. No,
She got
listen.
convicted.
She did not get convicted for all of that they threw out front. All of the things that they threw out front, they let it go away once she resigned. Okay? And her love life, the main thing they were highlighting was her love life. She removed herself. I was right there with her. She would remove
No,
herself
no,
when
no.
there
I'm
were.
not. My conversation is not anti Sheila Dixon.
I
What I'm
got you.
saying is, what is the mind frame when she did her time, right? I advocate for ex offenders all day long.
Right.
But if she's the best candidate for mayor, whatever her impropriety is, she don't get a second chance. It's the mentality when I see my brother Jason's comments and all that sort of thing, right?
Well, the last election showed that even though there are people that feel the way that J. Rod feels, that's what y'all call him, right? J. Rod. There are people that feel that way. The majority don't, right? The majority of Baltimore don't feel that way.
I don't
And
know. She lost. So
but she only lost by what,
A
3,000
little bit.
I
votes?
mean, but what I'm saying is, if the majority didn't feel that way, she might have won.
Most people. Well, we can't even speak to how many people that didn't vote, right? So
Right. Well, I don't know if that how much of a deciding factor that was, but let me ask you this, Lady Lisha, and everybody else can chime in too. There's an obvious demographic. If you go and you look it up, there was an obvious difference in demographic for who voted for who. Do you think the amount of the younger people who met the demographic that pushed Brandon Scott over the top, right? Do you think Sheila Dixon is able to grab enough? Because that's what I think the key to the vote is. Were enough people convinced? Because Lady Lisha, you sitting here, you see what's happened, right? You see what's going on, right? You see what's happening in the city now, but you're still pro Brandon Scott for whatever purpose you're pro Brandon Scott.
because
So,
I believe a great man said that a youthless movement is a useless movement, right? I think that was you. I think you said that, Pastor. To be honest, Baltimore in 2023 is not the Baltimore that we had when Sheila Dixon was in office. It's just not. We're in a whole different phase. This is a whole different environment. And while
well,
she
I
did
think
an
the
excellent
interesting thing,
job,
because there's an element of that works to her favor, because she had a much larger population with a much smaller murder rate.
but we didn't have as many guns in the street that we have now. We're still dealing with those ghost guns that are popping up out of. It's just not the same. It's not the same demographic. Like, it's just the population is just totally different. We don't have as many police. We have a shortage in police right now. We have more guns on the street. We have all of the youth have. Well, we're in the process of developing more youth programs.
So let me
It's
ask
just
you a
not the
question,
same.
right? That police, the shortage of police and things of that nature, because you can't, not really particularly the guns on the street, right? I'm not gonna put that in this mix, but the shortage of police literally is something that the leader of the city should be fixing, not getting a pass on what the reality of crime is because of it.
What can he do outside of increase the budget? He's increased the budget. People don't want to be the police. Ever since Freddie Gray, people don't want. I can't say the word that I want to use, but people don't want to be police. So that's the struggle. Like until we change the perspective that the community have of the police, like this next generation of kids, they not growing up like I want to be 5-0. No, not at all. They don't want to be 5-0.
Chelsea the Catwoman shot. Y'all come on back. We ain't debating.
Wouldn't that be on his desk to?
I believe so. I believe the mayor should fix that.
Hold on, watch this. So okay, he increased the budget, and that's cool. But if people don't want to be police, if kids don't want to be police, because again, a youthless movement is a useless movement, right? So if people don't want to be police, why? Where's the community engagement? The police, where's that whole mechanism? Where's the whole, like that's on him to
well,
do.
Well, one of the things I know from
PAL,
one of the things I know from the inside of the hiring aspect of it, one of the things that's keeping their numbers low is one of the things that's keeping the numbers low for hiring is because they have some antiquated hiring or onboarding practice. My man Darnell Wharton on here, maybe we can get him to come on screen. They have some stuff that other regions just aren't doing anymore. The polygraph, the level of background check, and some of the other stuff that they're doing is kind of antiquated. And literally, it holds up a lot of local people from being eligible because it's Baltimore. So when you look at their background check and how they operate, they literally say you can't be connected to somebody that was this, that. So if my brother has been convicted of a crime, I can't get the job.
But you understand why, though? We've had so much corruption.
I understand. But that's an old practice. So when you were saying that the reason that the numbers are down or whatever the case may be, because don't nobody want to be the police, that's not true. Some people can't get past the qualifications because of the level of background check and some of the other stuff that they have in place that causes them to eliminate people. And all of those practices has not hindered or limited the amount of corruption that we've seen in Baltimore police.
Well, they do have several campaigns out. I know I've seen posters throughout Baltimore City where they're campaigning for people to come and to apply for the Baltimore City Police Department. And it's so cute because they got the Mexican and they got the black lady and then they got the LGBTQ plus community represented, and everybody's represented in the billboard.
But are they in the communities though?
I'm just saying that they trying.
I dig it. I'm just saying.
Y'all, it's a pretty spirited conversation in the comments, so I tell you that.
They talking.
They getting it in over there.
My thing is still always going to go back to authenticity and intentionality, right? So my thing is this. Okay, cool. The billboard is cool, but is the billboard just so we can say, hey, that's cute.
They did something
Mexican,
right.
The LGBT, I see all of that, right? So my thing is again, are they in the communities? Are they what's going on? Are they gonna do the PAL and bigger that? Like I was just talking about that one with somebody the other day. And he was like, yo, that did so much for me. He's a hood dude. And he was like, yo, like the PAL just did. Like, I would go there and hang out and boom, boom, boom. And we do this and that. We play ball with some of the cops. It's just a whole, again, what are they doing besides just the dog and pony show? Again, I'm not saying they aren't. I'm just saying, I'm asking really the real question. What are they doing besides the dog and pony show, besides the blinky lights? Like, what are they doing?
So are we saying
that's the magic question?
So are we saying that the person who's in leadership at City Hall has no hand in whether or not we close that? I think it's 500 plus officers. And let me say this.
I think so. I think that I believe that's on whoever's in charge.
Mayor Brandon Scott, when he announced this crime plan, said that it was probably because of the holistic perspective going to be a 5-year plan. We're going into year 4, and we are seeing these dramatic decreases. Are we saying his holistic plan has nothing to do with the decreases that we're seeing in crime? I mean, for me, I want to make sure that we're having a balanced conversation about what is and what isn't, because I'm not endorsing anybody.
No, I
Right?
can, I can, I can dig it. Now, I haven't endorsed anybody. I'm just saying what I like about the
Oh no,
perspective.
no, I'm not
You
saying that. I
Right.
don't have a problem if you
you
do.
know,
Right.
no, but no, I believe. Again, I run an organization. If I don't have enough people coming to the pit fights events, then that's on me. I can't be like, yo, y'all ain't selling no tickets. That's on me. So if I don't have enough people showing up for bike rides, oh damn, yo, you ain't told nobody to come out, yo. No, that's on me. I have to do whatever I have to do to get those results. And if
So why is it that we don't want to give him the credit when we see these reductions? If
it's
he
not.
gotta take the hit on the fact that we low on officers and everything else, why are we
He
not
get
giving
that,
him the
Mark.
credit?
He gets that. Listen, listen. I'm gonna be in full transparency. He cut my organization a check 2 years ago, right? So for biking, right, to help with my nonprofit. So no, the brother's doing some things, right? He's doing some things. Um,
I
But
think we
again, that
do.
doesn't negate. Again, it's that. Again, I'm saying he's doing something, but that doesn't negate the other things. And people are not going to care about percentages, Marv. They want to see a whole number, bro.
But I think we do our privilege as the chop shop and the platform that we're graced with 3 years old now. That's crazy for me to even say it out loud. We do it a disservice to not give opportunity to be able to educate people on both sides. People should care about the percentages. The brother inherited a raggedy situation as it
Right.
pertains particularly to crime, and he inherited it on the heels of a mayor who was ousted because of impropriety.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of which, does it feel like there is an attack against the black female mayors in Baltimore? Because I feel like it's a thing.
They keep doing
An
stuff.
attack.
They keep doing.
So you telling me the other mayors haven't done something?
Yeah, but I
They
don't.
have.
Politicians
Have they
haven't
been
done
caught?
something.
Have they been
They just
caught?
haven't got caught. I was going to say that was one of the
But
reasons
no,
they
it ain't.
You know why they haven't got caught? Because they haven't been looking for them.
That's two
This is
different
true.
sides of the coin. There's the side of the coin that says they just haven't been caught, and there's the side of the coin that says, have they been caught? Right? And on either side of the spectrum, yo, we talking about people that got caught.
So here's the thing with Sheila. That was one of the reasons they backed off of her, because had they continued to pursue her, they would have had to, it would have affected O'Malley as well. O'Malley was in office when things were happening, and he was still ahead
Man,
because she
somebody
started
post
as
that
city
link. My
council
man
president.
Darnell Wharton, I need you to come
So-
on here tonight, man.
I got
Every
it.
once in a while, we bring a guest rider on, and you one of my brothers, and I want you to come on here because I love your voice, brother. You're a man of principle. You do great work in the city. But y'all keep going. Keep
Let me
conversation going.
let me say this, Marv. It's because you made a great point, right? That the people should be educated, but guess what? It is also the responsibility of the teacher on how they give the lesson. So stop talking to people. If we know damn well they don't want to hear percentages, give us the damn number. Make it digestible. All right, so that's all I'm saying. Make it digestible. If we want people to get this stuff, bro, and they should be, we have to make
The number don't matter. The number don't matter. The number don't matter. What matters is what's public in the media. People aren't keeping track of the numbers. Everybody's still talking about the mass shooting, the 12-year-old. It's individualized. Y'all looking at numbers. Regular citizens, we think about the last thing that happened on our block. That's all we think about. We used to 300. 300 is our normal.
That ain't nothing to be used to, though. That ain't nothing to get you.
Our
Yes.
special guest tonight is. Hold on 1 second, y'all. We'll let y'all get back at it. Our special guest tonight is you, our viewing audience. If you see that StreamYard link and you want to hop on and just share your voice and lend your voice to the conversation, please feel free to do so. We can't have it both ways. We can't say that youth crime is overshadowing the reality of the good work that's being done, and then say the number don't matter.
I believe the number matters.
I believe so too.
You know why? Because here's why I believe the number matters. Because just like you said, Elisha, it's they're always beating you in the head with that number, that 300, that three. So if the brother can say, hey, look, 250, or whatever, right? Or whatever the number, right? Whatever. If we can say that, then people they will latch onto that. Even if they say, damn, yo, something did happen in Cherry Hill, but yo. Boom! And last year it was X amount again, and this is petty and so, really, it's really a community trauma that we're like, yeah, it's only it's only 250 or 270. It's not 300, but that is a real thing.
But I gotta throw this out there though. I gotta throw this out there, right? Because we are the home of the Baltimore Orioles, right? Okay. And we were told for years through losing, trust the process. If in fact what we are seeing in the downtrend of murders and non-fatal shootings is a result of the holistic approach, and we didn't go and we shift completely away from that and start from scratch, these are the kinds of things that I think people need to be really, really paying attention to and really looking at as we have these opportunities, because it's got to be about educating voters.
Agreed.
It's got to be. I think when we come out and we lend our voice to an endorsement that doesn't come with, and I'm not saying none of y'all making some great conversation and arguments on here. My man Darnell Wharton is backstage. We're gonna get him in the conversation in a second. Great points. I'm not saying this crew right here. But whenever we use our influence to endorse somebody without credible information, it fuels what I believe the biggest problem in Baltimore City is, which is identity politics.
So I don't not agree with that, but
oh my God, we 52 minutes in. Shot Green Darnell on.
We're
gonna probably have to part 2 this one next week, y'all. Darnell Wharton, my brother, my friend, what's up, good man? I saw you in the comments. I say we gotta get the good brother on the screen. Talk to us about these announcements that came out. We know at least right now we're looking at Bob Wallace, Sheila Dixon, and of course our current mayor said he's running for re-election. Everybody said Thurroux is always somewhere lurking around the corner. So talk to us a little bit. Give us a little bit of your perspective. Oh, one of the other former mayoral candidates in that 26-person race, Yolanda Pulley, is on here, y'all.
Hey, so look. I'm gonna be real quick with Bob Wallace first. All right. Let me be real quick with Bob Wallace. I understand why he's
a Democrat now.
He's a Democrat now. But look, check this out though. Check this out. Have we seen Bob Wallace since he lost last?
Oh, we said that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. So I'm not even counting him in on this one, because you know how Baltimore is. We don't know you like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, but you want to come back and be a Democrat so you can get some of these votes? No, I ain't with that. Now, let's go to Sheila. On Sheila, it's going to be on Sheila. Here's the thing about Baltimore. Baltimore knows that name recognition gets you in. There are a lot of people in Baltimore that don't know anything about what Sheila did or has done. But when they hear her name, it's like saying Jesus, because people recognize the name. Like, oh, I know who that is. And they go into the booth and they see Sheila Dixon. They go, oh, I'm going to vote for her. Not even knowing why they should, when they should, what she did, what she didn't do, whatever. They're going to vote for her for name recognition. That's what Baltimore does.
So we talked about that because we talked about the importance of those of us that have a sphere of influence or platform really educating. But you got one more candidate to talk about. Keep on talking.
Now, let's go to Brandon. And I'm not going to be a homer because that's my homeboy. But look, nobody, look, I knew you were going to laugh at that. But look here. We 3 years in. We 3 years in on him. And his promises was, I'm going to drop the murder level, the crime rate down 15%. Right now is at 20%. And the things that he put in place that people weren't feeling 3 years ago, seems like it's kind of working now. Because if you look at Squeegee Kids, they not around as much as they was last year. These cats got jobs. Marvin, you know it, because you got some of them jobs.
Yeah, I
You know
got
what I'm
most of them jobs.
You got most of the jobs. So they're not on the streets right now. And the thing about it is, people got to give credit where credit's due. Now, I can't agree with everything that Brandon has done and put in place, but some of the stuff that he said he ran on and he's going to do, he has done. Now, granted, I feel like what's going on in the police department doesn't necessarily fall under him per se.
Oh,
Because,
you just lost me. You
right,
just lost me.
no.
You
Look,
just lost me.
this is what I'm saying. The consent decree that came in didn't come up under him. It came up under Pugh.
Well, he knew that when he ran.
And a lot of people,
And he was on the council when it happened. And he still made the promises. He still made the promises knowing that. Come on, balance it out for me, bro.
No, I give you that. But a lot of people don't want to be officers now, not because of Brandon. They don't want to be officers right now because of the bad retention policies of BPD. They're not treating their officers right. Nobody wants to talk about that because look, we close to 600 officers down. You trying to tell me that these 600 officers are not being officers because of what Brandon is doing?
Well, no. That's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying. First of all, one of the major reasons that there's the attrition rate that you have is because Baltimore has some of the most comprehensive police training in the entire country. And many of the people that come here get the training, then go work elsewhere to make more money, right? So, that's one of the major issues with the attrition rate. I'm not saying that Brandon is the cause of it. I'm saying that if I'm the head of the city and we know crime is the major problem and we're looking at that, we're going to have to bring this back. Y'all agree we do this next week? We're going to have to bring this back next week because we're running low on time. But I'm saying it has to be, and the truth is, I'll say it hasn't appeared. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Darnell. It hasn't appeared that that's even been a major priority in, there's been no pushing Michael Harrison and those guys to get this thing fit, get us the officers that we need.
Right,
we hear about a class here and there. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying direct impact. This is the mayor's issue. But we brought you on, brother. I want to give you a little bit more time. And y'all go and talk to Darnell. And listen, this brother can go with the best of them. So y'all jump on in there.
No, I'm going to speak to the holistic point because I agree with the work I do is holistic. Right. So he invested in that piece. So I'm not tripping. I do get it. I see it. I felt it personally. Right. I get it. Y'all know me. I want the bike lanes and where it makes sense, people, where it makes sense and where it's not.
Thank you, because I was about to go in for that.
Where it's not disruptive. Oh no, I'm pro people. And again,
I'm about to say Harford Road. I'm
pro people. But what I'm saying is, I really want to hear. I want to see them head to head. I want to see the debate. I want to hear what Sheila feels about the holistic side, because I know how how she feels about some other things, but like I want to know how she feels about the holistic piece and how because I know she's heavy-handed on some stuff. Like she's like, I ain't even playing that. Like y'all can go ahead with that stuff.
That's gonna be a point, Shaka, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I call her Aunt Sheila because she came up in Bethel with me. Like she was in Bethel when I was little, and she was a no nonsense. I don't care what you got going on in your life, pull your bootstraps up type of person. So when you're talking about the holistic approach of systemic racism and homelessness and hopelessness and joblessness and all of that, I can't see her bending back to say, well, let me help these people. I see her being, what you going to do to help yourself?
We got to wrap this show. I'm sorry.
That's going to hurt a lot of people.
Darnell, if you're not busy next Thursday, I want to invite you to come back, and I want Yolanda Pulley, who's on here, to come back as a former candidate to be a part of this conversation. Y'all, thank y'all for joining us tonight. As I always say, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding, and all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Be the change that you want and need to see in your community. Don't get your bag and then run to another area and complain about Baltimore. And above and beyond anything else, always remember that we can be more. We love you. Make sure you're here next week for part 2 of this conversation.